later it was that he was going to leave all along.
Agreed.
We can agree that it was staged. It was so horribly done that first graders could have done a better job of pretending than what he did. So let's just what they're trying to do on their end.
But he was, it sounded like, under orders.
Yes. But he went there with the sole purpose, because he flew from Vegas to fly to that game with the sole purpose of because he knew San Francisco players.
There was one other reason to be there, to honor Peyton Manning. He's the former governor of Indiana.
I get all that.
Okay.
But he went there with the sole purpose of leaving because he knew there would be some players from the 49ers that would kneel. So he left Vegas, come to Indy, to walk out after 30 minutes to fly back to L.A. But that's not his money. That's our money. So I'm done with that. He was a phony, and I thought he was the same one in the White House. But what they're turning this into is a mockery of the president.
He's not in charge.
Yes. Jerry Jones. Jerry is asking for a fight. I'm interested to see how the NFL is going to handle this, because this wasn't collective bargaining. And I told you this, Skip, when he did it. I said, Jerry did what he did for Jerry. And I told you that. You can't fool me, Skip, because I know how they think. Jerry Jones, what is the least I can do to get the most? Because I'm going to show my black players. Because what happened? On Friday night or Saturday night, President Trump called some of the players that were protesting SOBs. That sent the black players into a frenzy. That got everybody damn aroused. So all these owners, I got to stand united. I got to stand united. It was easy. The backlash from the public, it was easy. But Jerry...
Okay, let me just say one quick thing. If you know Jerry's background, that was a little big deal for him to kneel. It was more than I ever thought he would acquiesce to do, even for the black player. But go ahead.
If he did it during the anthem, I'd have said, you're right, Skip.
They took it right up to the edge of the cliff.
Right.
Yep.
And he didn't even look over.
You're right.
And I told you. And so now what we're trying to see, Jerry is showing these players, I was really never loyal to you. This was about me. I just wanted to show you, hey, pretend that I was in your corner, but at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about you or those issues that affect your community. Now, if you want to protest, go in your community where there's no cameras, where nobody's going to hear those, because guess what? The influential people, see what has transpired, Skip, is that the players in the NFL, they make millions. And they're trying to give voices to the people that cannot speak. They're trying to shine light on people that cannot be seen. But people can't see them. You're a millionaire. You're not being discriminated against. You're not being oppressed. You get equality. I mean, where else can you go? But see, they missed the issue. Jerry also said something about a serious debate. There's a serious debate going on in this country. He's talking about the serious debate regarding the flag, regarding the anthem, regarding the military. He's not mentioning anything about the issues in which Colin Kaepernick took the knee for in the beginning. But also, guess what? Neither the president, vice president, or Jerry Jones mentioned. You know what happened over the weekend? They showed back up again in Charlottesville, Virginia. They showed up again. They said, Russia is our friends. You will not replace us. See, this is what systemic racism is about, is that you squeeze and you press. You do this or else. That's the mentality. So you can, Jerry Jones and all these owners, I even, Joy, for a second thought your owner was in on this, that he was in our corner. Lo and behold, Stephen Ross all along was a charlatan. He was never for the players. It was always about the bottom line. And what Jerry just told everybody that's watching, that play in the National Football League, it's about this money, it's about these sponsors, and it's about our president. He was never with you when it was about President Trump. He only fooled you. But you can't fool Shannon Sharp. And a lot of these black players, y'all need to wake up and realize that these 32, they all behind this one. And your issues that does not affect them do not concern them. Jerry Jones just told you. Now, he said it publicly. A lot more thought about it. Tampa Bay Institute, if I'm not mistaken, Tampa Bay got a policy. The Miami Dolphins have a policy. Think about it. You go to work and they demand that you say a prayer. That's why they took it out of the school, Skip. That's why they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of the school, Skip. If I'm the NFLPA, I'm saying, look here. Do what you feel you must. and we'll take their ass to court because they can't demand that you honor a country if you choose not to. But Jerry Jones ain't fooled me. This is nothing new to me. I always felt that they were going to do the least that they can get the most for, and when they push came to shove, they're not united. They wanted the players to think they were united against President Trump, when all the while, there's a reason why. Think about what he said, Skip. He said the owner should fire, should suspend, or fine players. Mm-hmm. And what did the owners do? They following suit to just what that man that said at the White House said. So I'm not surprised, and I told you Jerry was all about Jerry. But when the rubber meet the road, players take a back.
I very, very much disagree with your conclusion. I told you whenever it was 10 days ago, Jerry Jones got a call from the President of the United States, and you said he was butting up with him, and I said, no, I believe he got an order from the President of the United States. You will force your employees, your players, to honor the flag and stand through the national anthem. And Jerry said last night to Jarrett Bell of USA Today that he did get this call, and he shared with me, the president shared with me, that there had been a rule on the books. And Jerry's buying that there's a rule on the books. And Jarrett Bell points out it's not in the official rule book of the NFL that you must stand for the anthem. It's in what's called the Game Operations Manual. And it's a little hazy. It's more of a guideline. It says that all the players should be, they have to be on the sidelines, but they should stand. Not that they must, that they should stand. Okay, so it's a hazy definition of what that rule on the books is. But Jerry is buying what the president's telling, and then goes on, and Jerry says that he told President Trump, there are several things that we don't agree about. We're friends, but there are several things we don't agree about. And I believe the president said, we're going to agree to disagree on one thing. From this point on, every one of your players will stand, or I'm going to hold you accountable. And guess who suddenly folded his tent? There was one owner in Miami who was the only owner to stand up for the players, right, against our president. And Stephen Ross said yesterday, Trump has made standing for the anthem about patriotism. And he said, I'm out, basically. I'm paraphrasing the rest of his quotes, but he just said, once he makes it about patriotism, I can't argue with patriotism. Well, again, it's to your point about the whole, the message got changed so dramatically that now it's about, and we lost sight of what the original protest was about, which I'm sure Stephen Ross is still heart and soul behind that. But once the president says no, because guess what's happened here? While we're worried about our president declaring war on, dare I say, North Korea, he just declared war on those in the NFL who don't honor the anthem and the flag, right? Isn't this the equivalent of? Yeah. He won't back off.
But that was the whole point. That was the whole point in what this president was trying to do. His message has been so divisive. He's driving a wedge, and these owners are allowing him to do it. You would have thought, because
I'm not sure they have an out
If the president can't tell a citizen what to do, this is a private business.
I don't know.
Skip, this is not the Department of Justice.
But there's one guy you don't mess with in this country.
Yeah, Skip, stop playing. See, Skip, see, you see what you did there? You see what you're doing what a lot of people do. And I get it. This is the way white America has always done black America. We'll make it about patriotism and we'll shift the tide. They did the same thing with Dr. King.
It was a shrewd move on the part of the president whose popularity was in the toilet, right? Because a vast majority of Americans do believe in the anthem and the flag. And they do believe in the heritage of a country for which hundreds of thousands of men have given and women have given their lives.
Can I ask you a question? How many of those same men and women believe in the Constitution?
I would hope all of them do.
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you.
So which one came first?
Who's going to be on President Trump's side? What majority will be on his side?
The majority that elected him.
Okay.
So let's not.
And you say he'd win in a landslide tomorrow, which I find hard to believe. But again, if you're right about that, then he's on very much the right side of this issue.
Yes.
And this is a move to repopularize himself, right?
Yes.
This is. Don't you think this is winning him national points?
Yeah. When you see what's going on now, not one time did he call the men that showed up in Charlottesville SOBs.
No.
Those were not
I'm
free
with
for
you.
protest.
I agree.
Okay,
but
why won't
again,
you?
I think it's a shrewd move because I think the majority of Americans are behind President Trump on this one.
It's only shrewd if you can't see what he's trying to do. But the smart people see what he's trying to do.
Well, the smartest people right now have to be the players of the National Football League.
Yes.
Because they have been called out as SOBs,
Yep.
they have been challenged, and then their owners are now under mandate to not allow them to play in the football game if they choose to, whatever, dishonor the flag. And by the way, Jerry had two players who at the end of the anthem, is David Irving and DeMontre Moore, they raised their fist. Does that count? Is that dishonoring the flag?
Well, look, the two guys that could probably put this theory to test.
Now, I agree.
Would be Dak
I
Prescott
wrote
and
it
Zeke
down.
Elliott.
I wrote it right here.
But
what if Dak and Zeke kneel? It'd be 2 weeks from
Well, first of all, Skip, Dak just got an endorsement because I believe a guy raised his fist.
Could be.
With the Cam Newton situation.
And when I first heard about it, I wish Dak had not taken that endorsement. But then it might look like he's reinforcing or agreeing with Cam's stance against women, right? If you don't take so it's kind of like damned if you do or don't.
Right. And here's the thing, Skip. Well, the president called the players SOBs. All the owners did was just reconfirm it. You are, because you ungrateful. You playing in the league. You making all this money. Don't concern yourself with what's going on in your community because you don't live there. You're not impacted by this. So you worry about standing on my stage. You do what I tell you to do. Now, D. Smith, you got reelected unanimously. I'm going to see you need to earn your keep now.
Okay, but this is for black and white players. They're all under fire now. They've all been challenged. A line has been drawn in their sand. What if everybody opts next Sunday, everybody kneels? Then what happens? You're going to fire them all?
No. But, hey, the president message is resonating again. We thought, the thing is that when this was going on, 44, President Obama said the American people is smart enough to see through this charade. They weren't. He's starting to resonate again, Skip. And this time he's not using bots on Facebooks. This time he's not using no propaganda. He's speaking it. He's talking it. These coded messages, he's talking to these owners. And these owners speak his language. They speak his language.
I don't think it's coded. I think he's calling them and saying, you will do this.
Yeah, but who is he talking to, Skip? It's coded because he's only talking to a certain group of people.
It disturbs me that 32 of the most powerful rich men in this country would so easily bend to one demand. I mean, this isn't a dictatorship. It's not a fascist state. You can't demand patriotism. Patriotism is earned, not demanded.
Yeah, patriotism. Yeah, I know.
Well, how many of those players? How many of those players are willing to risk their jobs for this? Colin Kaepernick did. He lost his.
Well, it shouldn't be all on the players because without the players, there is no league. You can argue that without the owners, there's no league, but they are the product that people are coming to see. Nobody's coming to see Jerry Jones.
Okay, but there were replacement players, and they tried to get through, what was it, 87?
87. Yeah. America, this is what oppression looks like. When you get a powerful system.
It's not systemic, though, as Eric Reed said. It's like presidential oppression. Like it's from the top. It's not subtle, creeping.
No, it's not. It's when the powerful puts you in a position that says this is what's going to happen or else. This is why they started. That's what took a knee for.
And this is why it's continuing, and this is why the conversation is still going. Is Cam Newton back to his MVP level? We'll discuss that next.